Good, what is it? Afternoon, good evening, good night, good
Morning.
morning, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. We are over 3,000 members strong from 85 plus countries. And I'm super excited to have Ann Moore with us today. So, Ann Moore is a somatic sex coach, certified sexological body worker. I got it out. That was a mouthful.
All of it. You just have to say the
Welcome.
word sex and they all perk up. It's good.
That's it. The sex, sex, sex.
Right.
So, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I know you wanted me to talk a little bit more about what I do, who I am.
Yeah, sure.
That
And
help?
before you do that,
Okay.
just a couple of housekeeping items. For those of you that are joining, this is a good time to ask questions, drop comments, and also let's let everybody in the community know that we're live. Simply let us know how the sound is. If the sound is good, just give us a one. If you like what you hear, drop a wow or a heart or anything like that. For some reason, when you type, people know we're the Facebook algorithm gods know that we're live. So let them know by dropping in your comments. Let us know about the sound, also where you're tuning in from, whatever floats your boat. But let's interact and let's have some fun and let's hear from Anne about what exactly it is that she does. The mic is yours.
So, yes, thank you. And hi everyone. I'm so delighted to meet and see you all and to meet Shai because we really haven't had a chance to hang out before. So this is great.
Yes.
So that was a bunch of words about big words about what I do, and we're going to have more big words for those of you who are sapiosexuals. This is going to be super fun for you. Um, so somatic just means body based. So everything I do is based in the body, and when I work with clients, when I do body work, it's all about listening to the body, which is why I'm so interested in polyvagal theory, which is what we're looking at today. Um, so. Um, and that means that I'm listening to the voice of the body, and that it's an understanding that we think up here, and we actually think with all of this. We react and interpret and feel with all of this. So that's
Mm,
where I'm from.
super interesting. So, what is a certified sexological body worker? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So this is a kind of body work that was developed by Joseph Kramer, who is a former Jesuit and PhD. And it is about bringing mindfulness into the erotic space and to bringing the erotic into our mindfulness practices. Especially in our culture, we tend to have this idea that to be spiritual, you have to shut down the body or ignore it. This is
Right.
exactly the opposite. And so playing with pleasure and awareness and all the tools of mindfulness, breath, movement, voice, to enhance our experiences, but actually also to reconnect with our entire bodies. So, the places where classical massage doesn't go. So, every area of the body, genitals, internally, everything. Because a lot of times we're offline in one place or another because we've experienced trauma or surgery or some kind of injury. And so it's bringing all of us online so we can be fully alive.
I love it. It's such big, important work. So
Yeah.
many people need it. It's almost like I wish I could take, you know, you and others like you and just like clone all of you because if we can heal people at that level, we can heal this planet.
Exactly. We
There,
can get out of the unconscious and start to bring mindfulness into everything I do, which means we can build connection, which means we can build safety. So,
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that. So we're going to drop in and geek out a little bit on polyvagal theory today, specifically how the nervous system works. And then, so we'll be spending a little bit of time here in Leveled Up Love, and then we'll move the show to part two will be in the Open Relationship Academy. For those of you that are members, we'll dive even deeper and talk about how poly and poly, right?
all the
How
polys.
all polys play together. How does the polyvagal kind of theory and system play with polyamory and the complexity of polyamory and what needs to happen for polyamory to work with your nervous system?
Right.
So let's talk about polyvagal. There's some people that have never heard that term before, so let's keep it basic. Can you do that
Right.
for us?
I can. So, everybody's heard of fight or flight, right? That
Yeah.
basic response of danger. And that was our understanding of our nervous systems for a very long time, that we had one sort of central nervous system called the autonomic nervous system, the one that controls all the stuff that's going on underneath the surface so we don't have to think about. So heartbeat, breath, circulation, just all of that, including sexual arousal, actually. And we thought it was one pathway, and that there were basically two states. Either we were resting and relaxing, and it's sort of based on like really old evolutionary theory of like, okay, we're animals, we're either like cool, everything's great, we're eating, we're relaxing, we're grazing, we're doing whatever, or we're scared. And if we get scared, we either are going to fight or we're going to get out of there. So
Yep.
fight or flight. Polyvagal is a newer theory developed by Stephen Porges in, I think it's 2004. And what he introduced was this idea that actually there's three systems. So that's the poly part, many, and that they work in order of newest to oldest in terms of how they were developed in our bodies over time in evolution. And the whole thing is about safety. It's about when we feel safe and when we don't feel safe.
Mm.
And we're doing it all the time. You're doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's one of the reasons we can connect over the internet like this, for example. So the first system, the newest one, is about social engagement. And
Mm.
it's called the dorsal vagal. So it's everything that controls our faces, our
Mm.
voices, our heart, and our breathing.
Mm.
And it's the way we can connect. And so right now, even as I'm looking at you, Shai, and as anyone is looking at us, they're checking, like, listening to our voices. Does it feel like we're speaking truth? Do they feel safe with us? Is it comfortable? Do they want to lean in? Is it,
Mm.
do they trust our faces? Does it seem like a genuine smile? All of that stuff. So that's the first way. And we lead with that. And we're doing it unconsciously all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the other big word I'll throw in is neuroception, which means this. It is that. It means it's something that a term that Stephen Porges came up with to talk about, and this is where it connects with woo-woo, science and woo-woo, which I love, that
So,
we're reading each other, basically. It's that thing about empaths and how they just know what's going on with you
mm-hmm.
immediately, and everyone in the room.
Yeah.
That's neuroception. You just know. Your body knows. You can feel it, and you can feel it in your gut,
Mm-hmm.
in your heart, in your body. You know if you're a yes to something and you feel safe.
Now I'm taking notes. So what was the first vagal type that you said?
Ventral vagal,
Ventral vagal.
meaning front, meaning heart.
Okay.
So, and it's basically your face, heart, breath connection.
Face, heart, breath. Okay, so that's the first one. Is neuroception the second one?
Neuroception is how we know this. It's all of these work on neuroception. What it means is we're doing this all the time and we don't know we're doing it.
I see. So that's not the second one. There's going to be a second one.
There
Okay.
is a second one. Sorry, I threw that a little out of order.
No
So
worries. I'm just
put that
following
aside.
along. I want to make sure
Basically,
I understand it.
you're tracking this all the time and you don't even know you're doing it. And it's affecting how you're perceiving things.
Okay.
So you start with this social engagement piece because we are wired to connect. We are wired to co-regulate, to make each other feel safe. We do it through hanging out together. We do it through touch. We do it through sex. We do it through conversation. And then when it shifts, we're also tracking all the time to see, am I safe? If there's something that feels not safe, we switch into danger mode. Then it's like, whoa, wait a second. Maybe it's a loud noise. Maybe it's somebody said something unexpected. And to me, this is where it ties into poly.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of things being introduced into our environment and our relationships through poly all the time, where we have to track all the time. Do I trust? Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? Do I feel attached?
Yeah.
Or is there some new person on the scene? Or has someone said something that made me feel for which I feel like triggered, jealous, insecure, upset, conflict, whatever. That's the danger piece. That's the second piece, which is the sympathetic nervous system.
That's the second piece. The first is ventral vagal, and now we're into the sympathetic nervous system.
Right. That's the fight or flight.
Okay, gotcha.
And it can happen in a heartbeat. And
Yeah.
it does happen in a heartbeat, and you've all felt it.
Yeah. We all have, for sure.
And that's that sense of like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. Or, whoa, I'm going to take that on. I don't agree with that. Anger, conflict.
Mm.
And um, if we've had a lot of healthy relationships in our life, then we're pretty good at like, we drop down into danger and then we like check it out. And it's like, no, actually, I do feel pretty safe. And you can come back into this connection.
Mm.
But as
Mm.
soon as you get into danger, you shift from connection to protection. And this is where it shows up in our relationships, where suddenly I'm triggered and I'm no longer feeling like I'm connected to you or like I can be or like it's safe to be.
Mm. Interesting. So,
I'm protecting myself in some way that I may not even know I'm doing. Either I'm shutting you out or I'm starting to withdraw. I'm starting to pick a fight because I feel defensive. It's a defense mechanism.
mm. So through social engagement, your ventral vagal is essentially using neuroception to analyze everything that's coming in, all the inputs, all the observations that are coming in, and then at some point between the ventral vagal activating the sympathetic nervous system, there's a meaning that's created, right?
Right,
There's a judgment, if you will, that something is
right.
wrong or that something is right. So if
And
something is
it's even below the level of judgment. It's a body reaction. It's a
body
body
reaction,
response.
but I imagine past trauma feeds the body reaction.
Absolutely, it does.
So there's
Yes.
there's a meaning of some kind that then goes
Right.
deep into the nervous system where the trauma is sitting and brings up a sympathetic nervous system reaction
Right. Of I'm in danger.
of I'm in danger, right? But I'm just want to clue in on the fact that meanings are everything.
Yes.
Not everything, but it's a system, right? The nervous system is not going to get triggered if the meaning that goes down to the brain doesn't translate into a deep, like full somatic reaction from that meaning, right? If you're able to adapt your meanings, then your nervous system won't go into fight or flight.
Yes, and I'm seeing your body language here. Really old habit. We think it comes from here. It does not. It's
It's not.
actually coming from here.
So literally,
Actually, it's
the
literally your story is going to follow your state.
okay.
All of a sudden your heartbeat gets fast. You can feel when you're in like, so when you're relaxed, you're breathing fully. You can feel it now. You're relaxed, you have full breath, your heartbeat is slow.
Mm,
You're feeling this sense of relaxation in your gut. And then when it shifts, you can feel it like your heartbeat quickens. You stop your breath or it's faster.
mm.
Your gut tightens up. You've got that feeling of in your solar plexus. That all happens before there's any story about why.
Wow. It's almost like it's not in the brain. It's almost like the meanings attached to the trauma are stored in your body altogether.
Yes,
Now I got
yes,
it. Okay.
they
It's just
are. And trauma, yes, because emotion is an embodied experience. We can't have an emotion without a body response to
mm,
something in our environment. Emotions actually follow our body responses, and
wow.
trauma is exactly that, where it gets stuck in the body. And let me get to that because that's the next piece. So that's the dorsal vagal response.
Dorsal.
Dorsal vagal.
This is the third.
Dorsal is the back. And so I'm like, if I could, like, this is ventral, this is social engagement. It's face, heart, breath. Sympathetic is arms, like mobilization. Let me get out of here. I'm triggered, I'm aroused, I'm activated. It's about movement. I got to do something. And when we can actually do something, we get out of that state really fast, actually. That really is helpful to take action.
Mm,
Where trauma happens is we want to do that. We want to fight or we want to get out of there and we can't. We
mm.
feel
Feel
trapped.
trapped. Mm-hmm.
Something happened that is so overwhelming
Mm-hmm.
that we can't actually react to the danger in the way our body needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't react. And that's the freeze state of like, whoa, what's going on? I can't even move. And
Mm,
then the really old system, it's the reptile system kicks in, which
mm-hmm.
is I check out altogether. I'm
Mm,
immobilized. I,
mm,
I go beyond freeze to shut down.
mm.
So it
Mm.
basically goes, I'm safe, everything's cool, I can breathe, I can relax, I can take you in, we're connected.
Art,
This is
right.
where we want to be. This is where awesome sex happens. This is where
Yeah.
love happens and trust.
Yeah.
Safety, scared, danger, oh crap, now I'm protecting, I'm no longer connecting,
Right.
and shut down.
Mm.
And shut down is actually that all of those movements want to happen and they get stopped.
Mm.
And then they get stuck in our body, and that becomes a habit and it shows up later. Anytime we feel, whoa, I'm not safe, we might really quickly go into that, yeah, and I want to react and I want to take action, but I can't. And it's that cycle of like, I'm stuck. I still feel
Mm.
trapped. I feel immediately trapped.
Mm. Okay, this is so fascinating. I'm an amateur at this. You're certainly, I know you're not a PhD at this, but you
I'm
feel
not. I'm just a super fan.
a super fan. But I love it. I love it. So the dorsal vagal is the last one, to be
Yeah,
clear. And
it's the
what happens
reptile
there?
piece. What happens there, and you can feel that. Then we are, um, it's this sense of we can't move. Everything feels heavy. We feel isolated. We feel despair. It's not only am I alone and it's like I'm alone and I'll always be alone. I cannot get out of this place on my own and I can't reach out to get out of it. I feel completely trapped.
Wow, this is epic information. So what I think we should do is that's a lot for everybody to take in.
It's a ton. Yep.
Um, what I want to do inside the Open Relationship Academy is touch on um, in part two how all this intersects with polyamory, because what I'm thinking is um, understanding polyvagal theory is understanding how you move into an open relationship, and how do you acknowledge these three states and what you need to do depending on what type of history you have to prepare yourself. So when they say
Yes.
that not it's not for everyone, one could argue that it's not for everyone if they haven't done the work. They haven't done the clearing of their nervous system and the trauma that's stored in their body.
Right.
Once having done the work, this kind of makes me think about how, so for my ex-wife, this poly didn't work, right? And we ended up consciously uncoupling for that reason. And she always used to say, "It's just my intuition. It's just my intuition." And my brain, the guy brain, was like, "I
Up here.
don't,
We
yeah,
thought.
up here, like, I don't know what you're talking about." So essentially, what her intuition, one could argue, translated into is her polyvagal, her system, her
It's her
nervous
neuroception. Her neuroception was reading stuff and saying, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. Yes. And
system,
so and again, it's body based. And so what we'll talk about in the Open Relationship Academy is what to do with this. And there's tools. So
which,
basically, it's body awareness, um, breath techniques, it's like the 3 B's, and boundaries. And how do you do that? So you can create safety.
and I want to talk to you when we talk about boundaries. I want to dive into um, the spectrum of love styles within non-monogamy.
Yes.
So let's do that. Let's jump off. For everybody that's been with us, that's a lot of information to take in. For those of you that are following us into the Open Relationship Academy, we'll see you there. Thank you so much, Anne, and I will switch us in a minute. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. It's
Thank you,
been good
everyone.
so far.